I think one of the privilege I had, which other entrepreneurs didn't have, I'm third generation entrepreneur.
আচ্ছা
So আমার দাদা ছিল, সে আসামে ব্যবসা করতো,
আচ্ছা।
মানে it's like long time back, in the talking about 30s 40s.
হ্যাঁ
তারপর আমার বাবা এবং চাচারা we have a family business. So they were businessmen and I grew up watching them.
My goodness, and victory for Bangladesh. What a way to start this tournament. It's only a reconfirmation of them as a growing force in the world game. So confirmation of a momentous occasion.
সো স্যার আপনি তো অনেক ইনভেস্টিং রোলে অ্যাডভাইজিং রোলে থাকেন অ্যাক্টিভলি উইথ দ্য স্টার্টআপস আই এম প্রিটি শিওর যে এই অ্যাকিউমেন্টটা শর্ট টাইমে ডেভেলপ হয়নি ইফ ইউ লুক ব্যাক এট ইউর ক্যারিয়ার এই বিজনেস অ্যাকিউমেন অফ ইনভেস্টিং অ্যান্ড ওয়ার্কিং উইথ স্টার্টআপস কোন এক্সপিরিয়েন্সটা সবচেয়ে ভালোভাবে শেপ করেছে
I think one of the privilege I had, which other entrepreneurs didn't have, I'm third generation entrepreneur.
আচ্ছা
So আমার দাদা ছিল, সে আসামে ব্যবসা করতো,
আচ্ছা।
মানে it's like long time back, in the talking about 30s 40s.
হ্যাঁ
তারপর আমার বাবা এবং চাচারা we have a family business. So they were businessmen and I grew up watching them. And then it was almost like graduate করার পর অবধারিতভাবে ছিল যে yes I will join the family business. So I did my undergrad in US, came back in 96, and then I joined the family business and I did it for 7 years, and I think whatever acumen I had in sense of business I learned there, and it was basically learning by doing.
আচ্ছা
Because I studied BBA, you know, you get the fundamentals in terms of what is economics, finance, and what accounting, but running business is very, very different. Running business is basically goes, you know, if you really say essence of what is business is basically, one is management of the capital, but it fairly is about people management.
আচ্ছা
How do you manage people?
আচ্ছা
And that's a soft skill that no
theory or
theory. It's not human resource. It's human resource only theory, but when you deal with actual people, and then how do you get outcome of certain people? Certain different people, you know, react to different way. So that was very interesting. That how do you actually deal with people, employees?
You spoke about working with founders. এবং I'm pretty sure you have had the privilege of working with অনেক founders throughout your angel investing career. What are some common traits that make একটা founder successful?
Common traits is grit.
আচ্ছা
I think super high IQ can be upset by grit.
আচ্ছা
If you are a cockroach who refuse to die, you know, I will bet on that 100 times. And a very smart person, because he may have ego and a lot of baggage, and then it's very difficult to, you know, coach them, and then you don't get advantage. You have to take a bet.
আচ্ছা
I would bet someone who has a grit versus someone who is super smart, but maybe he doesn't have the grit.
আচ্ছা
Maybe he will give up maybe within 6 months, and somebody who refuses to give up, I would bet on the person who doesn't want to give up,
আচ্ছা
but he's not maybe as he's very smart.
আচ্ছা
I think that's what I've seen, that people who refuses to give up when they're building a business has a fairer chances of succeeding than others. The other thing is, you know, your ability to see not the present but also see beyond the present. Like, how do you see the future? It's almost like, you know, when I think of the future, I can almost, it's almost like a 3D version. I can imagine where I want to be in 2 or 3 years. You don't have a full plan, but you can have an abstract idea where you want to be. I think that's very important, because that's where the ambition comes in. Like, what do you want to become?
আপনি কিভাবে গ্রিট আইডেন্টিফাই করেন ইন ফাউন্ডার্স? ডু ইউ লুক এট প্রিভিয়াস স্টোরিজ অফ ফেইলিয়ার্স? মানে হাউ ডু ইউ আইডেন্টিফাই ওই ট্রেটটা?
So usually I don't invest right away. I would work with the person 2, 3, 4 months, and I will ask them to do certain things. I would ask them how they are kind of solving a certain challenge, and then how they come up with the solution. It's more about working and figuring out the chemistry between the person, because ultimately, I've exited companies that, like this company, I exited because we didn't have the right chemistry, and then they had a different vision than I was. Not in the same wavelength. So as an investor, you want to kind of be part of the journey versus have these frictions, whether it's idea-wise or vision-wise. That's also important, that can you be part of the journey, not for the short term but the long term.
You were emphasizing a lot on people management.
Yeah.
What are some key advice that you would have when it comes to people management?
One would we say, respect. I don't think we value people the way the more advanced economy do. For example, the guy who came with the coffee, do you respect him as a person? Or are you just seeing him just like someone who's working? So আমাদের দেশে I don't think we kind of give right kind of value, and our attitudes are very different. Sometimes it becomes very transactional. That I'm giving you and then you're giving me, and that's about it. And kind of inspire them to a certain degree, like why would someone work for you? I'm sure that not all company can offer this, but I think the best companies do inspire employees.
So I'm getting two things. That to respect that person as a human being. এতটা ট্রানজ্যাকশনাল মাইন্ডেড হলে ইটস নট বেনিফিশিয়াল সব সময়। আরেকটা হচ্ছে ইন্সপায়ার দেম টু গ্রো, শো দেম dreams that they can achieve. You have been working with Startup Dhaka for a few years now. ধরেন আমি একজন entrepreneur and I have an idea. How can Startup Dhaka help me?
So we used to run an accelerator with Grameenphone, the Grameenphone accelerator, but we left it last year, and then we started our incubator, because what we have seen that there are more people in the idea stage than growth stage, and more people don't know. They have passion to start something, but they don't know how to or where to start from. So we started an incubator. I think incubator is a great place to experiment your ideas before you actually go on full on, like, I want to build this, because it helps you to understand that are you the right fit to build something. You may not. You may be better off working for someone else. Not everybody has the DNA to become a founder. So I would say join our incubator if you have an idea. My other passion project is called Upskill. It's a peer-to-peer learning platform. And again, the other thing that we saw, that there's a huge talent gap, and what we're trying to do is like we are trying to match with people who have the skill sets and people who don't. And then we do online services in terms of workshops. We do physical workshops, and trying to kind of create a space where people can come and learn something.
Provided that we are controlling for external factors, why do companies fail? যাদেরকে আপনি দেখেছেন fail করতে, why did they fail?
Most of the times company fails that one is they don't have enough customers. That's very simple answer. Like, if you don't have enough customers, you're not going to have enough revenue. If you don't have enough revenue, you're not going to cover your costs. If you don't cover your costs, you're going to run up your seed capital at some point. I think one of the ways the Silicon Valley model that shows that don't worry about profit, get users, I think that is shifting after WeWork debacle, that you say that profitability is not an issue, but now everybody's going to basics now. Profitability is an issue. And a country like Bangladesh, we always have to think about monetization and profitability. Like, how do you become profitable at what, how soon? Because there is no liquidity in the market. Where do you get the funding? So If you bootstrap, and then if you don't get money very soon, then you run out of your money. So I would say don't run out of customers. Sale.
Paying customers.
Yeah, paying customers.
That's it. Okay, yeah. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank
This
you
is
for
all.
having me.